Hi, and welcome back to another Save It for Parts gadget review. Today we're looking at the Blue microphone, and I assume this has some kind of a model name, but all I can find on it is Blue, and then this very mysterious ICS 3B NMB. I don't know if that's a model number or some kind of regulatory rating in whatever country. Who knows? This is one of those weird electronics gadgets that may or may not be a good product. Might just be some gimmicky thing from the internet. I don't know. I got it in a box of other junk at an auction, and I'm thinking it might be something useful for my video production. Normally when I film these videos, if I do a voiceover or something, if I have to go back and correct the audio, I have to pull out my Sony camera, talk into it, redo the voiceover. But it'd be handy to potentially have a microphone right here at my editing station where I can do voiceovers, where I can do live streams, where I can do whatever else that I might need a standalone microphone. So just quickly looking at the hardware, it's called a Blue microphone. There's nothing really blue about it other than the USB cable, which is very bent up. I don't know if this is the original USB cable. Again, I got this thing used at an auction, so this may or may not have come with it, and somebody previously apparently has bent the heck out of the thing. So the mic itself seems to be made out of metal, or at least a really strong plastic. It's got a volume knob on the front. It's got whatever the heck this is. I don't know if that's for clipping onto some kind of stand or whatever. It does have a headphone jack output, the USB input, and then this little desktop stand here, which seems like you can pop it on and off if you want to bolt it onto whatever this goes to. Physically, seems like a pretty solid unit. Well, let's hook it up and see how it sounds. I'm using Shotcut on Ubuntu Linux to do all of my video editing. The microphone is detected right away when I plug it in, so that's a good sign. Sometimes with Linux, hardware can be a little iffy, but it does pop up. Now, one thing I've noticed, when I plug this mic in, it takes over my sound output. So even though there's nothing hooked up to the headphone jack, my speakers no longer work once this thing's plugged in. So if I'm playing back audio on the computer and then I plug this mic in, there's a lot of activities to keep these two monsters satisfied. So in this video series, the audio goes away. I don't know if that's a Linux thing or a Blue microphone thing, but either way, that's pretty annoying. By the way, the video I'm previewing here is from my other channel, Donnie and Fluff's Cat Toy Reviews. That's where our pet cats review all their own toys. Everyone should go check that channel out too. I'll throw a link down in the description below. Okay, so one thing Shotcut can do is if I go to Open Other in the menu, let's see, I can theoretically select an audio input. So I think that my microphone is under ALSA Audio, and I think it's this default PCM device. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and try that. And I think this is our audio input file. So this button lets us mute and unmute the mic. You'll notice the levels popping up there on the right side of the screen. They're a little out of sync with the actual talking. Okay, so once that's working, I have to go to my export window and click on Wave File. And it looks like I can capture a file down here. So we're going to capture a new audio clip. We'll call it Test. Okay, it says it's capturing. I guess I don't have any input levels or anything here. Stop capture. Okay, well, we did get a file pop up after that. Again, it's not playing back because the microphone's plugged in and that's preempting the output to the speakers. So I guess we can only use the microphone or the speakers one at a time here. Let's see how that audio actually sounds in a side-by-side comparison. Alright, this is a test of the Sony Handycam audio versus the Blue mic audio. Alright, this is a test of the Sony Handycam audio versus the Blue mic audio. Alright, that sounds really distorted. I think I was holding the mic too close. So we'll try it at about the same distance as the camcorder. Okay, now we're testing the Sony Handycam versus the Blue mic, both about 18 inches from my face. Well, both of these sound pretty similar to me, but the Blue mic audio honestly sounds a little flatter than the Sony Handycam. So the audio recording process in Shotcut is not very convenient. It's kludgy, it's not intuitive, it really is a pain to get any audio recorded, exported, imported, jump through all those hoops. Fortunately, Linux has this little built-in sound recorder program, so let's give that a try. Alright, this is a test of the Blue microphone versus the Sony Handycam, speaking from the rear of the Handycam, about 18 inches away from both. Alright, this is a test of the Blue microphone versus the Sony Handycam, speaking from the rear of the Handycam, about 18 inches away from both. Somewhere along the way in this testing process, I've managed to make my Blue mic flash orange. I guess orange doesn't really mean anything bad because it is still recording up there. Now I've also noticed there's this button on the back that changes the pattern, so we can have a round pattern or a ghost pattern. I guess we'll see if those sound any different from each other. Okay, this is Blue mic recording round pattern, and this is recording in ghost pattern. Okay, well so far I'm kind of on the fence with this whole Blue mic thing. It's kind of a hassle to use, it's inconvenient. It doesn't really sound that good, especially in the round pattern. This other one, whatever, I'm calling it the ghost pattern, does sound a little bit better, but to my ears it still sounds flatter than the audio from the Sony Handycam. And for another thing, I'm doing most of my recording with the Handycam now, so most of my existing audio is on there. If I'm doing a voiceover, I feel like if I use the same camera to do the voiceover, it's going to sound a lot more consistent than using a different kind of microphone. Now, I'm obviously not an audio expert. I can barely even get a 5.1 surround sound system to work, so I don't know really anything about waveforms or impedance or matching or balancing or any of that. I just dump the audio into the file. I kind of level it all out so I'm not going too high or too low. That's the extent of my audio engineering ability. But to my ears, again, this just, I don't know, it's just not as good a sound as the Handycam. And combine that with how much of a hassle it is to use, well, I'm just going to continue to use the Handycam for voiceovers. This thing, I guess it'll go back on my junk pile. Maybe I can get $1 for it at a garage sale. I don't know. I guess I'd give it a 5 out of 10 for review. It works as a microphone. It's annoying. Doesn't sound that great. Wouldn't buy one in the future. Wouldn't recommend it. Thanks again for watching. Make sure to check out my other videos for other tech reviews, and then of course all my DIY project videos where I take random garbage and turn it into slightly less garbage projects like my motorized canoe and my potato gun tank, things like that. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more of that, and we'll see you next time.